What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, The Stone Mandalorian. My name's Cody, or you can call me Stoned or Stone Mando. Today, as you can see, I'm taking a look at Star Wars Skeleton Crews SM-33. This is number 7 in the subline for the Star Wars The Black series here. And this is a character I really enjoyed, voiced by Nick Frost, I believe his name is, in the show. Really love, I've always had an infatuation with pirates. Living here in South Carolina, there's a lot of pirate lore in Charleston and Hilton Head and stuff like that. Me and my brother, he used to call us the Palmetto Pirates. It was something that he came up with, but growing up, we've always had an obsession with pirates and stuff like that, especially like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but even before then. And this is just such a great looking figure. I really enjoyed the character in the show. Not only was he like a supporting role background character, but he kind of added to the dynamic of the show and kind of came in handy when it was time for some slapstick humor, and also knows how to whoop ass. And this is some really cool engineering that we're going to look at on this figure that's kind of similar to what we saw in 2024 in the Droideka. You can see he's got this 2 blast shields here and a little snowball that goes in his eye. This is a great looking figure. We have this beautiful yellow, very similar to the Clone Wars, a little bit lighter. Beautiful mural art of SM-33 right here. This SM-33, or just 33, is the decrepit first mate of the ship found buried on At-Aten. He is loyal to the ship's captain, having served under others who have held that title. SM-33's battered body is incomplete, as is his patchy memory. So, can't say I don't remember no At-Aten. Just a very funny, cool character. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I've always fucked with pirates. I've always thought pirate lore was so interesting and cool, and it's kind of a part of the lore here in South Carolina, especially along the coast or whatever. So, just super awesome. And it's also funny because 33 is one of me and my wife's favorite numbers, or just 3 in general. And he's got a peg leg, and my mom is a knee-down amputee, so it just kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to pick this guy up, let alone for his character, but then just other little signs that I was getting of why I like this. But let me quit my gums. I know y'all aren't here to hear me talk. Y'all want to see this figure, so without further ado, let's take a closer look at it. Starting off here is an acrylic stand that comes with SM-33. Obviously, he does have a peg leg, so pretty cool that they included that to help him stand up. Next up, we have 2 of SM-33's blast shields with some nice kind of brashish gold paint going on there with a little bit of carbon scoring there, looking really nice. The inside, you can see, is where it plugs into his arm. We'll take a look at that in just a second. And here is the second one here. Also got some nice brass paint, a little bit more carbon scoring, or battle damage, if you will, whatever you like to call it. Another piece that plugs into his arm. And I figured let's just start off with his sculpting here. And this guy looks just, there's a lot going on with this figure, man. I was very excited when they first pipelined him and announced him, revealed him, whatever you like to say. This is just, man, this looks really good, man. I can see SM-33 here. There's no doubt in my mind. Got some nice hoses. Sorry for hitting the camera, y'all. Very nice sculpting. We have the hosing in the back. Looks phenomenal, dude. So cool. So rad. Got some, like, clear plastic here in the hinges. You can see right through them. Very interesting. Got some nice silver paint, even like some weathering all over this figure. You can see the rust and patina that's all over him. It's a really great looking figure, man. Even some scuffing right here. Very nice. And here's his blast shields. This one, his left arm fell off, which I was watching Robo's review. Robo don't know if you don't know. But you probably do if you're watching my channel. But if not, check out Robo. He's awesome. And but yeah, his was falling off. I've seen also Matt Bryant's review. I was watching his, and seems like this left side is very prone to falling off, so I'll put that on in just a second. But just continuing on here with the paint and the sculpting, just absolutely phenomenal, man. Look at all that paint on the inside of here. Little C-3PO vibe going on here with some reds and blues. Very, very nice. Even some grays on there. Does not continue on to the back, which sucks, but that's typical of the Black Series, you know. The shoulders are a O-ring, like a rubber. It's on the O-ring joint system, and it kind of has like some give to it, kind of plasticky, but they look very nice and metal. Nice clean yellow paint on the inside of there. And again, this guy's covered with some nice rust and patina, man. Very, very cool. All the way down to the feet and the front of the legs on the peg right there. Nice dry brushing, a little bit of scuffing and stuff like that. Again, a little null and void on the back. It's a little bare. Yeah, it's actually very bare, to be honest, when you start looking at the front then compared to the back. Like, here's the front. I'm sorry, here's the back, and then here's the front. Like, you know, they definitely don't want you looking at the back of the figure, I reckon. But, man, this thing looks fantastic. It's some nice sculpting and more of that brass paint right here on the knee. There's like a really nice off-green like kind of like olive drab green or something. Even these browns are like copper tones right here for the joints going in the knees and the elbows up here. Just a really rad looking figure, man, honestly. So just looking, yeah, I'm excited to look into how these expand and stuff like that. So let's get on into the articulation. And here's SM-33 standing all alone without his stand, which is very, very nice to see. Very cool. I'll probably end up using the stand just because, but I'll tell you what, let's just go over the basic articulation, then we'll take a look at the kind of like cylinder system engineering droideka type shit they have going on for the limbs, and we'll just go from there. So start at the head, of course. He can look down about that far. Just be careful with these hoses and stuff like that. You don't want those to break. Looks like it's on a double ball hinge. Oh, and another little feature. The head comes off, and that's actually where you place in. Here, let me go ahead and just show you all this. This is where you place Snowball going right into the eye right there. Comes right off, and then it just plugs right back on. Just like that, like a Viking helmet, and then boom, he's ready to go. Continuing on here, his joints, we can get a nice full T position, no problem here. Very nice. Obviously, they can spin 360 degrees on that beautiful O-ring shoulder system right here. Getting to the elbows, we have a little bit less than 90 degrees. It's pretty nice. And then obviously with the weird joint articulation, you get all this other, also go under 90 degrees the back way, of course. The hips can, actually, he got a lot of hip motion. He can kick straight out in front of him, no problem. He's got a lot of kickback as well, just very typical with the droids. Very nice. Let's see the lateral movement. Not a whole lot of lateral. That's about as far as you're going to get right here, just because of the sculpt of the hips. Kind of butt up into the sculpt right there, into the pelvic region, I guess you'd say, but you can get a little bit of lateral range, so that's nice. And then right here at the knee, we can get right to 90 degrees. You can move a little bit the other way, just with the, like I said earlier, with droid articulation. Feet can go down very far, or I should say the foot, and come up a fair amount. And getting on here, we have some 360, or like some swivel right here. Little bit of side to side, not a whole lot, but mostly just swivel. A little bit of ab crunch, not a whole lot going on here. He can collapse down like this, so you can have him where he's deactivated when the kids first find him on the ship, which is pretty cool. That's pretty rad. And obviously he expands out. I have not done this yet. And I think this pulls out. I'm very nervous. I know the feet pull out, right? Oh, yeah. All right, here goes the feet. Oh, I hear the click. All right, there's the other click. I'm a little nervous, y'all, honestly, messing with this figure. I do not want to break it. I really like this figure. So, get that. Is this out all the way? There we go. There's the click. So, you want to pull it out until you hear that little click right there. And I think the arms are already extended. I'm not sure. It feels like they are. God, I'm so nervous, dude. I really do not want to break this fucking figure. This might be it full. I think this is actually him fully. I think he's actually go in. Yeah, that's what it is. So this is him fully extended right here. So that is actually pretty rad, and how I am going to display SM. Pretty rad right there. And then just real quick, I just want to feel like you're wrestling with a transformer or something. Let's put him back into his small form. Here, the click. This is a really cool figure. They did a good job with this. All right, and this is him in his small form. So that's pretty rad, man. Let me grab a tape measure real quick. So right here with the tape measure, you can see he's right at about 6 inches when he's not extended out. Now this is him at full extension. Let's see how tall he is now. I would imagine he probably, I think it's, yeah, so damn near 7 inches. So he can gain about a whole inch. So it goes from 6 foot to 7 foot basically in the 1/12 scale, which is just really, really cool, man. This is just, the engineering on this guy is just phenomenal, man. It's the way that these pop in and out. Here, let me get this focused in real quick, y'all. The way that these really remind me of the Droideka arms, and like some of the articulation on the Droideka, the way that it pops out, and it's very like, the way it's like cylindrical, like a piston going into, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm doing this in between, on lunch at work. My brain is fried. It is hot here in South Carolina. I work outside. But, man, this is just a phenomenal looking figure. What a cool droid. I'm so stoked to finally have this guy. And They really delivered. They did a good job. Like, this is SM-33. There's no doubt in my mind. The sculpt is there. The fact that he can stand on his peg leg is also really cool to me. I really dig that. Oh, I say that. That's a user error. But, yeah, that is just so freaking cool to me, man. That's rad. And there it goes. So I was just sitting here messing around with the blast shields that come on 33 here. And they look really cool. You can see, like, you can still get some really wide poses and still kind of have like a lunge. And he still stands pretty good, you can see. But I was putting these on there. And I was just wondering and curious. It would have been really cool. So, like, you can't turn this anymore. So it would have been cool if they put a swivel right here on the forearm or at the gauntlet or whatever. So that way he could turn this, like he could turn his hand to be in front of him. And the other thing I'll say is these blast shields, the way that these go on, they're very finicky, and all that holds it on is this little L hook right here. That is the only thing. Plugs right into the arm right there. Sorry, y'all can't really see that. You see that little L hook on the blast plate? It's supposed to hook into the arm right there, and it's just not a whole lot to hold it in there. So when you put it in there and you start fiddling around with it, it's just very likely to come off, and it's a little bit annoying, but he looks pretty cool just like this, man. I mean, like, that's a pretty rad looking figure, honestly, man. And here he is, kind of slouched down, kind of like a more SM-33 profile when they... Oh, and there he goes. Kind of like when they first meet him, when they first come across him before they figure out what exactly he can do and who he is. I really like the way this figure looks, but this is probably not how I will display my 33. And there is little tiny Snowball. You really can't even tell what that is. My camera can't really even pick it up. It just looks like a little rat turd or something, but that is Snowball. Don't really know why they went with the gray plastic, but because he was white, hence the name Snowball, white like snow. But there he is, probably the smallest accessory in the Black Series. Well, that is my review on the new Skeleton Crew Black Series SM-33. And I really do enjoy this figure. I really did enjoy the character as well. I did enjoy the show as well. And now, while it is arguable about this being a deluxe, you know, I could see people arguing that point, and I could see where I would give them some validation for that. It gives them some credit. But yeah, I think it is a brand new sculpt head to toe. There's a decent amount of paint on this guy. Brand new articulation, new engineering, if you will. There's 3 accessories that come with it, including Snowball and the 2 blast shields. So the one thing that I will say, these, changing out his blast shields and just his armor in general, these shields are very finicky, and just messing around with the figure, they want to fall off. So that is a little bit annoying, a little bit of a gripe, but it's just a nitpick. It's not enough to make me tell people not to buy this figure. Like I said, it's a brand new sculpt head to toe. It's got some very nice paint on it. It's covered in some very nice paint, but at least, you know, as far as the front is concerned, just really nice, intricate sculpting here. As you can see, the hoses going on back here, really nice deco, and all the nice wire on the inside. And just, again, the sculpt, brand new sculpt, new engineering, or if you want to argue new, but it's new to this figure. This is very similar to, like I said earlier in the review, very similar to the type of engineering of articulation that we've seen on the Droideka last year in 2024. So that they gave us the stand too. They just really did execute this character so well, man. And like we always know, if you're a Black Series collector, you're a veteran or newbie and you begin into it, you probably noticed or already know, they do such a great job with damn near all the droids and aliens for the sculpts and stuff. And this is no exception, man. I love the way that he extends out and you can expand him like he's getting swole, just getting, you know, getting bigger and stuff like when he goes into battle mode and such. But yeah, paint, articulation, sculpt, they really just hit the heads on all the nails that they needed to as far as a good action figure goes. And I really did enjoy the character. Some people thought it was a little too slapsticky humor and compared it to Marvel humor, but slapstick humor has always kind of been a part of Star Wars. If you look back at C-3PO and R2-D2 in the original trilogy, they're very quirky and like slapsticky. You know, they're like the comedic, you know, the humor of that up inside of all that tenseness and, you know, aggression and stuff that we seen obviously in the original trilogy. But with that being said, y'all, this is such an awesome figure. If you were on the fence about getting this figure, I would suggest you buy it. But if you're on the fence and want to wait until it drops down clearance-wise, I understand that too. But to me, this was worth paying, not only because I like the character, but just because of the figure itself and what all is on it. My buddy Hybrid Collections might disagree a little bit, but maybe he hasn't. Maybe he would agree with me. But I can see why they slapped a deluxe label on this figure. But with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Please smack that motherfucking like button if you did. I greatly appreciate it. Also consider subscribing to my channel. Helps me grow, just to continue to grow and get myself in the algorithm and continue to talk about awesome toys to other people. So appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. I hope you're all having a great dinner whenever you're watching this. May the Force be with you.